Well, let's begin our closing statements now. Each candidate has 2 minutes for their closing statements. I believe we began tonight with Mr. Schickel, so we should start with Mary Ann.
In case I forget it at the end, thanks for coming. I've had 60 years to learn to live in the present, and I'm well aware of the importance of having a vision for the future. I've totally forgotten where I was. All right. We all have a sense of that this is a good place to live, but we might not really know why until we look around at neighboring communities. I just heard on the radio today that Tompkins County has the lowest unemployment rate in the state, and the state is already lower than the national average. You can't imagine how fortunate we are to have the opportunities we have. I grew up in Clinton County on the Canadian border. It was then, and maybe still is, the second poorest county in New York State. But we had Lake Champlain, and we had farms, family farms, struggling but beautiful. And after 2 years in a one-room schoolhouse and a year in the bus garage with temporary partitions, we moved into a beautiful new central school, an awful lot like Dryden High School. Only had one football field and no pool, but I thought it was great at the time. We had a volunteer fire department. My father was an active member. Dryden has 4 incredible fire departments who've grown and adapted with the times, with the changing times, with increasing emphasis on medical response. We need to build on those things. We have a lot going for us here, and we can make it better. In the 90s, we have a clear vision now of different neighborhoods and local businesses and family farms and the things we want to save. We have community centers in 4 communities, including this one, that people who lived here built in Ellis Hollow. The people got together and saved money and established a building and a playground and so forth. We do need to build on those efforts. In the 90s, Jim Shug brought the first section of the rail trail to reality, and we've been working pretty hard on the next section to Freeville and a section. I see the clock flashing, and another section from Cornell to here in Varna. I think we'll always focus on, I'm going to finish, excuse me. I think we'll always focus on residential development, and we need local businesses, including farms, and we need our natural areas, the streams and the trees. We really do. They're not just for recreation. Our lives depend on them. And this is one thing, the natural areas, this is one thing we can do better than any town around.
To be fair, I'm going to have to add 20 seconds.
I humbly ask for your vote. This is something that I've taken on and to run to be your town supervisor. I know I can do a good job for you. I know I can do a good job for everybody. I'm ready. I've spent the time. I have the expertise to handle this job. The number one responsibility, the number one of the town supervisor is to oversee the fiduciary and the financial management of the town. That is absolutely critical, and it has become screamingly apparent and obvious that responsibility is not being taken seriously by the current town board and supervisor. For them to not understand what is happening to our savings, for them to not understand that spending is up 41% and revenues are flat or down, and that our savings is being just dwindled away, and this is the result of simply raising the operational cost of government, and they don't know this is going on. They're not aware of it. This is incredible. Absolutely incredible. The budget we got to put our house in order. We absolutely have to put our house in order, and we got to start right now. We can't wait till next year. We got to start right now. And we're going to have to get creative. I mean, we really are going to have to get creative on this. It is going to take everybody working together to accomplish this. As far as gas drilling is concerned, if it comes, we're going to have to do everything we can to deal with it the best we can. But I don't think, seriously, that we are going to have the control and the decision of saying yes or no. I just don't think the state is going to allow us to have that. So I think we got to try to push for balance between landowners and the environment and try to seek something that works for everybody. Together, we can build a beautiful, affordable future for Dryden. Thank you.
Oh. I think everybody would agree with me. I hope tonight was helpful to everyone. Some closing thoughts. My professional experience over the past 4 years has provided the town and the board with a valuable perspective on various infrastructure issues within the town involving sewer, water, bridges, road, and civil engineering projects undertook by the town. And I will use my analytical skills and managerial expertise to move the town forward while maintaining the quality of life to the residents of Dryden. We all serve our community in one fashion or another, whether it be Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Kiwanis, Sertoma, town-sponsored athletics, volunteer firefighting, EMS, Grange, VFW, American Legion, sports boosters, Board of Education. I'm sorry if I forgot anybody. But I would like to serve our community by representing the residents of Dryden on a town board as we move towards our future. A future which allows that which we have become accustomed and where our children and homes are our most important investment. A place where local businesses are able to thrive through thoughtful planning and zoning without the possibility of heavy industry having a negative impact on our environment, resources, infrastructure, and way of life. A Dryden which responsibly serves its residents both fiscally and judiciously, where we, if our children choose to reside here, are proud to call home. Thank you, Mr. Estes, and I thank all of you for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure.
There are many issues in a town the size of Dryden, and you've heard about several of them tonight. None of them are easy or simple. The town budget's a huge document requiring careful review and an understanding of the many different funds and how they can be utilized. However, deficit spending cannot be pursued. The new zoning plan is also difficult to understand and seems to me to be overly regulatory. Zoning is necessary, but I don't believe automatically zoning things out, allowing people to do only that which is specifically identified, is appropriate. When you add the critical environmental areas to it, as the state is already working on, this is a cause for increased concern. Anytime additional regulations or reviews are added to zoning, it requires additional time and often additional expense for anyone wishing to make changes to their home or developers looking to bring new business to the area. Concerns regarding gas drilling in our town are real, and it's important for us to understand the current process used, the impact it could have on our town, while working with the state regulations that will directly impact our ability to manage gas drilling. Other areas of concern are appropriate recreation areas that will be well used by many across the large expanse of our town. Balanced funding for our fire and EMS departments, who each year have to deal with increased regulations and training requirements. And finally, increasing our tax base through business development to allow for more even distribution of a heavy tax load on all who live and work in Dryden. In closing, I'm not a politician. I'm a concerned citizen, and I hope you'll vote for me on November 8th.
Well, as my husband can tell you, I always like to get the last word in, so this is exciting. Okay. Well, Dryden is a beautiful place to live, and it's home. The current board, Republicans and Dems, worked together to study fracking and voted unanimously that it was not right for Dryden's plant. Did you notice that fracking was a big issue for me? Our traditional zoning has done so well that Dryden homes are now valued at $750 million, and by their action, this board chose to protect and defend your piece of that $750 million. Fighting fracking via zoning will save us more than we could possibly gain through any of Bruno's suggestions. Few stand to profit from fracking, and for most of them it's even a maybe because the industry keeps the books. And 100% of us will surely bear the huge financial and social costs. What is if your home was now close to fracking activity? Could you sell it? Would it lose value? What would daily life be like 24/7, and for how many years? Do you believe the news accounts from Pennsylvania or the gas industry? Our opponents say we can invite the gas industry in, come on in, have a seat, and then make up the rules with them. But they should know by now that that is flat out false. And if they don't know that by now, they should not be running for office. We have only one power. We cannot sit down and regulate with them. We can only zone it out. There will be no opportunity for Bruno's balance. Bruno is not asking for balance, but for surrender. We have no power, according to them, to control our home turf. I chose not to throw my hands up. I would like to fight back, and I would like a board that will fight to defend my home and my life's savings. Like 50 other municipalities in New York, we are simply exercising local control to protect our lifetime investments. When offered the petition to sign, the vast majority of Dryden residents did. In 2 recent polls in upstate counties, 3/4 of New Yorkers in 2 major polls said that they were against fracking. That's 3/4. Do you trust Anschutz any more than BP to decide what's best for this town? Me neither. That's why I'm running to protect Dryden. I like to solve problems and save money and look forward to doing town business as usual. But first we need to lock the barn door because it won't help to lock it after Nellie's gone.
I want to thank the candidates for list tonight and also last week. It's been really illuminating. Also, the folks that brought us all together for this, and that's the Republican and Democratic Party of the town of Dryden, the Dryden Grange, and the Dryden Rotary. I promised you a deadline of 9 p.m., and we are 15 seconds away from that. In my business, that's important. Good night. Vote on November 8th, a week from today.
I don't have a key.